Again, welcome back to another segment of the Ratchet and Kim Possible Chronicles, the Lombax Secret. Last time, they were able to defeat the pirates and get the Dimensionator back, only to notice some changes to Ratchet that were really unpleasant. However, Quark came in, snatched the Dimensionator, and left for a black hole, but ended up landing on the planet of the Kragmites, Reaper. After arriving on the planet and fighting through many of Tachyon's forces, they found him wearing the Dimensionator, in which he activated to open a rift to bring out the Kragmites from the dimension they were banished to. So now everyone has a major issue with a Kragmite invasion that is heading towards the capital of Free Polaris, I would guess, on the planet Igliak. And oh my gosh, there is so much trouble to be had, but at least Ratchet is back to his old self and regrets being mean to his friends. So enough about that. Let's get on with the story. I am really hoping to finish this in the next 2 videos. Alright, guest narrator, it's all yours. Go right ahead. Thank you. I shall get on with finishing up this story. After another long flight, they were able to arrive at Meridian City on planet Igliak. There they flew through the skies above the city. Ophelion, what's the situation with Meridian City? Wait one moment, I forgot the fan. You really need to keep that fan close to you at all times when doing this video. Oh, shut up. At least I have it plugged in. Yes, good on you to do that, but still. Not another word. Okay, let me start that part again. Ophelion, what's the situation with Meridian City?
Partly cloudy, 72, a perfect day for crow fishing.
He was referring to the invasion.
Oh, in that case, over a quarter of the city has been decimated by Kragmite dropships. It will not last without support.
And that's where we come in. Let's go. They continued on their way and managed to land into the city. As soon as they got out, they looked around at all of the devastation that was done to the entire city.
Yikes! They really did a number on this place.
Come on, we have to stop them. Oh yeah! Let's bring down that evil brat and his terrible empire once and for all! Viva la revolution! Booyah!
Booyah!
Let us end this. Oh, Ron, you are always such a unique person.
They rushed out into the city, fighting off the Cragmite threat. As they fought through, they listened in on Tachyon making announcements to the city about his resentment towards it and its citizens for them living free from his tyrannical rule. The loudspeakers provoked the group and prompted them to fight much harder against the invasion. Kim, of course, had gone out of her way to break any screens that she and the rest of the group would come across. This was very gratifying to her as well as the rest of the group.
And I forgot to do something else. Hang on. There we go. Kim answered the communicator. Guys, I'm receiving a distress call from somewhere in the city. I think it might be Captain Quark. Can you track his location? Already on it. Come on, guys. Let's go find him.
They continued on through, fighting off more and more of the invasion force. Soon enough, they received a transmission from Talon.
Ratchet, Kim, come in. Talon, when did you get here? Just now. We've managed to retrieve the pan-dimensional vortex inducer with some help from Wade. It's safe in our possession. We'll have you guys send it back to him ASAP. Really? That's great!
Thanks, Talon. You don't know how much you've helped us out.
It was no trouble. I was just briefed by Wade that you guys are trying to find Quark. I'm homing in on his location now. Great. Thanks, Talon.
They kept on advancing some more. It was indeed a tough battle. The invasion forces were really coming on the group like nothing they have ever experienced before. Regardless, they brought forth a good fight and rushed the enemy with everything they've got. Even Ron was giving his all, rather than just running away screaming for a change. You could really tell that he was indeed serious. Along the way, Talon transmitted to them.
Ratchet, Kim, I just homed in on Quark's location. There's a lot of air traffic from the Armada right around here. You guys need to get over there now. We'll handle the skies. Right, we're on it.
They still kept going, rushing through the city. A number of enemies they were facing greatly increased in numbers and ferocity. Other than making things harder for the group, this did not change much for them. They were soon able to reach a chamber. From there, they could hear a strange, muffled noise.
Do you guys hear that?
Yeah, it sounds like Quark.
They followed the sound towards a nearby door. From there, they were able to get the door open. Quark came out of it and fell flat on his face.
You okay, Quark?
That guy is so off my top 8.
Top 8 what?
I don't think I would want to know.
We need to stop Tachyon before he opens up any more portals.
Do you have any idea where he went next?
Who knows? Who cares?
Quark?
Are you? Oh, who am I kidding? I don't deserve these rock-hard abs, these chiseled features, these impeccable glutes and the bulbous buttocks. I'm no superhero. I am Captain Quark. No more.
Get a hold of yourself, Quark.
Jeez, even when he's down in the dumps, he's still full of himself.
It really is amazing how he expresses self-pity through vanity.
Ratchet, Miss Possible, Ron, I know where Tachyon is. He is at Festoon.
Really? What makes you sure about that?
Let me guess. The Zoni told you.
Yes. Clegg seemed despondent. Kim, Ratchet, and Ron exchanged looks with each other. Kim and Ron then looked towards Ratchet. He looked back at them with a look of remorse on his face. He then smiled, as they did. Then Festoon it is. Clank looked up at Ratchet, surprised by his friend's response.
Really?
Yeah, really. I will never doubt you again, unless I have a good reason to. Clank paused for a brief moment, and then smiled. I would not have it any other way, Ratchet. They both smiled at each other. Kim walked up to Clank's side and kneeled to his level.
I believe you, Clank. I've always believed in you.
Ron did the same on his opposite side to Kim.
Me too, Clank. You've never steered us wrong.
Rufus popped out of Ron's pocket.
Yay, Clank!
Kim switched on the communicator.
I also trust in you, Clank, so much so that I won't check to confirm it. I know you're right.
Clank was touched by all of his friends putting their faith and trust in him. He was at a loss of words by this. Yeah, smashing idea, everyone. While you guys are heading out, I'll stay here and coordinate the relief effort. He then went back in the closet that he was locked in.
He just went back into that closet. Wade, send a transmission to Kronk. Tell him we'll need support on Fast Tune. You've got it, Ratchet. And Wade, thanks for everything. You have been a tremendous help throughout all this. I know. It's good to see you back to your old self again.
They made their way back to the ship, took off, and left the city.
How much time do we have left? Well, that's good. I'll keep going.
Within little time, they were able to return to Fastoon. There, they flew above the ruins of the Lombax city. Almost immediately, they were being shot at by enemy forces that were already amongst the ruins.
Time to turn on the fan again.
Warning! Warning! Tachyon's fighters have locked on to our position.
They're here, just like Clank said. You mean just like the Zoni said?
Yes.
I'm not sure we can shake them.
Perhaps you should eject us. Then maybe you will be able to evade the enemy fighters much more easily.
Oh no, not that, not again!
They were then ejected again and fell towards the city, with Ron screaming all the way down once again. Soon enough, Kronk and Zephyr were seen falling with them. Missiles from below were being shot at towards them.
Incoming missiles!
Oh no, not this!
They were able to dodge all of the missiles and land safely on the ground.
Guys, come in! I'm picking up 5 magna cannons throughout the entire area. I can't get a clear landing because of them. Copy that, Talon. We'll have those cannons out of commission so that you'll be able to find a safe place to land. Thanks, Kim. Be careful, you guys.
As they fought through the area, they advanced towards the cannons and made strides to destroy each and every single one of them. They weren't exactly easy to bring down, especially with the place looking the way it did.
Geez, this place is like a war zone.
Yeah, the city fell to ruins after the previous war.
Wait, it already looked like this?
Yeah, courtesy of Tachyon, I suppose.
That's just so messed up. How could he?
That's something I'd like to know. After an extensive amount of time, they were able to destroy all of the magna cannons. From there, Talon was able to land her ship. The group managed to meet up with her.
It's good to see you again, Talon. Same here. I'm afraid I have some bad news. I just saw Tachyon's forces escorting his warship into the city. He must be getting ready to open more portals. Then we need to get him before he even gets the chance.
This is it, guys. The final confrontation. Let's go after that Cragmite jerk. Oh yeah! Get ready, Tachyon, because we're coming to bring you down. Yes, we are.
They rushed off as fast as they could. Talon joined the fight. Everywhere, dropships were dispatching enemies left and right. The battle seemed to have persisted on. It was indeed their toughest battle yet. At one point, Kim switched on the communicator.
Wade, can you find where Tachyon intends on landing his ship? I'm picking up multiple Cragmite readings across a chasm on the other side of the city. Then that's where we need to go. Come on!
They made their way towards the chasm. Upon reaching it, they were met with one major obstacle after another, the first being a bridge that was retracted. Talon was able to handle that by hacking into the bridge controls, but the Cragmite dropships came at them, dropping off enemies in droves. The group had to fight them off alongside Kronk and Zephyr to give Talon some cover. The Cragmites came at them almost indefinitely, but they kept on fighting them off, while keeping them away from Talon. Even Ron didn't seem afraid, and really gave it his all, a lot more than before. They were eventually able to fight him off long enough for Talon to extend the bridge. From there, they ran across it. On the other side, more and more enemies awaited them. They fought through barrage after barrage, all the way up towards electric fences. They needed to find a way to bring them down, but at that time, more enemies were emerging from behind the fences and came at them. It was a tough fight, and they needed to get through. Thankfully, with the resourcefulness of Kim, Ron, and Rufus, they were able to bring down the fences and progressed further. They kept on going until they came face to face with Tachyon inside his warship.
Time to turn on the fan again.
Welcome home, my furry friend. Last time I saw Lombaxes on Festoon, they were running with their tails between their legs.
What's your deal, Tachyon? The Lombaxes raised you. How could you turn against them?
Those filthy creatures had the gall to pity me, and after what they did to my race, they disgust me. Every single last one of them.
No, Tachyon, you misunderstood. The Lombaxes wanted you to be better than your race, to stand above their heinous influences. They were hoping that you would become a decent person, that instead you became the exact reason why the Lombaxes had to banish the Cragmites. Your people got exactly what they deserved.
Tachyon let out a most ferocious and irksome screech that was excessively loud. Everyone covered their ears from this.
I've had just about enough of your insolence, girl. You and your friends shall be exterminated once and for all, including that filthy Lombax.
Not gonna happen, Tachyon. You will never get away with betraying my race.
Well then, if it's a fight you want, meet me at the court of Azimuth. I'll be waiting.
He laughed maniacally as he flew off. The group stood by and watched this.
Oh, it is so on. Yeah, let's do this, guys. No one betrays an entire race, threatens my friends, and gets away while laughing maniacally like that. He is going down.
Yes, he is.
This is getting awesome. I think I might finish this within one video.
I'm rather looking forward to that, actually.
I thought so.
Yes, that way I can finally have respite from this narrating.
Not quite, Guy. Don't forget that we have the next story to do.
Oh, yes, of course. Well then, the sooner we get started on that, the sooner we can finish it. And I can finally have respite from narrating.
Yeah, I know. But I'm looking forward to getting the next story started.
All right, can we get back to reading the story already?
Yeah, sorry. Please continue.
Thank you. They rushed after him, made their way to the court of Asmith. However, getting in wasn't going to be an easy task. Talon, Kronk, and Zephyr temporarily broke off from the group to find a way to unlock the citadel. The group rushed out to try and fight the Cragmite forces. Everywhere there were screens left behind by Tachyon, taunting the group, mainly Ratchet. Kim gladly took her aggression out on these screens, much to Ratchet's gratification. The battle continued on as the Cragmite forces came at them almost ceaselessly. Within an extensive amount of time, they were able to fight off the enemy forces just long enough for Talon, Kronk, and Zephyr to get the door to the court of Asmith open. They rushed in as fast as they could. As soon as they got in, they spotted Tachyon standing before them. He seemed very pleased to see them.
Ah, welcome. Come on in. I've been waiting for you. End of the line, Tachyon. We're putting an end to your reign of evil. Permanently. Oh, I wouldn't count on that, dear girl.
You know something, Tachyon? You're unbelievable. The Lombaxes just wanted all creatures to live in peace, including the Cragmites, and they were hoping to start with you. Was that really too much to ask?
What? Me? Live alongside all of these inferior beings? Why should I subject myself to being a lowly civilian when I can stand above all of these worms as I was meant to do?
You are just all around horrible. It's obvious that attempting to raise you was the worst mistake that the Lombaxes have ever made. Although, I don't blame them for doing so.
Ah, yes. It truly was a mistake, and one that cost them everything. With their city decimated by my enforcers, they all took refuge behind these walls. They believed that if they left this dimension, I would leave Polaris unscathed.
They escaped to another dimension?
But of course. Dimensionator! Fight the Lombaxes!
A portal opened up in front of them, close to Ratchet. On the other side was a metropolis, no doubt one that was built by the Lombaxes, his race. He reached his hand out towards it for a brief moment.
Cowards! All of them! Only two stayed behind. The keeper of the Dimensionator, and his infant son. No, it couldn't be. I took great pleasure in destroying your father, Lombax. Pity he sent you to Solana before we could meet. I will offer you this one chance. Go home, join your kind, or stay and suffer.
Ratchet looked back towards his friends, a little at a time. He looked towards Kim, Ron, and Clank. He then looked towards Talon, Kronk, and Zephyr. Everyone remained wordless for those few moments. If I leave the Dimensionator with you, no one will be safe. He walked away from the portal and towards his friends. Not the Lombaxes, not my friends. I'm not going anywhere until it's destroyed. Everyone smiled at him. The portal then closed behind him.
Typical Lombax. So noble, so courageous, and so very dead.
Not if I have anything to say about it. Same here.
So, all of you have chosen to die together. How touching.
Oh, so not.
So not indeed. Bring it on, you heinous twerp!
Yeah!
And so they began their epic battle against Tachyon. The battle took place within the citadel itself. It was an easy one, and one that was surprisingly short. Soon enough, the Dimensionator began to shut down. No! 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 Work, you infernal machine! He yanked on the cord again. It opened up a dark portal and pulled him in.
Huh, you were right, Clank. Wormhole devices are dangerous.
Clank glanced at him in a discontent manner.
What? Oh, come on. It's not like one of those hollow films where you think the guy's dead and then suddenly
Ratchet was grabbed by his leg and pulled into the portal along with Clank.
Ratchet!
Kim used her grappling hook and shot it directly into the portal. She then grabbed onto Ron and they were pulled into the portal before it closed. On the other side, they stood on a large rock within a dark realm. Before them was Tachyon. He was still not done yet. No! What have you done? You've ruined everything!
Serves you right.
This isn't good. KP, Ratchet, do something! The next battle against him was even tougher than before. In fact, it was very time-consuming. He was really going all out on them. He was even more aggressive than before, and he came at them with everything that he's got. But the group was able to pull together and fight back against him. There were a lot of close calls, with a few in which he came narrowly close to subduing them. But after much time, their teamwork and persistence really paid off as they were able to defeat Tachyon. After his defeat, the Dimensionator was knocked off his head. You can't kill me, Lombax! Only I know your true purpose in this galaxy! Only I know your true name! The Cragmite return is inevitable! Your kind will never be safe! Never! And with that, he fell into the abyss. The large rock that they were on was about to collapse. Ratchet rushed over to the Dimensionator along with the others.
We have to get out of here! No, it's broken! Looks like someone snapped off the primary reflux coil. Where do we get one of those? Actually, I believe it is missing a 3 3/4 centicubic hexagonal washer. You mean that thing from the toilet? Ew, no way! If that thing will save us from dying here, then we don't have a choice in the matter.
Ratchet inserted the washer into the Dimensionator, then placed it on his head. Dimensionator, find home! He pulled the cord and closed his eyes. Much time later, he woke up. He found himself surrounded by his friends. Ratchet, are you all right? Where are we? We are home, Ratchet. We did it. It's finally over. Later on that day, the group, along with some of their friends and allies, met back at the Apogee space station, celebrating their victory against Tachyon. I almost made that mistake. Rusty Pete was giving Captain Quark pirate lessons, which really wasn't working out well for Rusty Pete. Krunk and Zephyr reenacted the epic battle of Ratchet against Tachyon, with Krunk wearing the now broken Dimensionator on his head, playing the role of Tachyon, and Zephyr holding Ratchet's Omni-Wrench, playing the role of Ratchet. Talwyn showed great concern for them, like she always does. Kim and Ron were chatting with Wade about how the pan-dimensional vortex inducer was stolen, with the dangerous device itself returned to Wade and then safely returned to the top-secret laboratory from where it belonged. Ratchet, however, sat by himself, sulking. Clank went up to him.
"Do you think he was telling the truth, Clank? About my father? About my purpose?"
I detect no lies in his voice, but I believe that your purpose has been fulfilled. You vanquished Tachyon, something even the Lombaxes could not do. Besides, there is much more than just your purpose or your race. Would you not agree, Ratchet? Ratchet looked up. He had a chance to look all around him. He looked at Kim and Ron. He looked at Quark. He looked at Talon, Kronk, and Zephyr. Each of them looked back towards him and smiled.
"Yeah, I agree. There is a lot more than my purpose and my race, such as my friends."
He then looked back towards Clegg with a small grin on his face.
"Thanks, Clank."
Clank smiled. Just then, a bright light appeared before them. From within that light, the Zoni appeared and surrounded Clegg. This time, everyone can see them, not just Clegg.
Whoa! What are those little guys? I'm guessing those are the Zoni. The Zoni? You mean those little guys that only Clank could see?
We needed to make sure you survived.
Whoa, the Zoni are real.
Now is the time for you to come home.
They lifted Clegg off the ground and suspended him in midair.
The time has come, sire, to learn who you are and who you will become.
Clank!
Rufus popped out of Ron's pocket and looked out towards the Zoni. He screeched and scampered out. Let him go! He attempted to leap out towards them, but was pushed back by a bright flash of light.
It is time to understand your purpose. It is time to come with us.
Yes, time to come with you. The Zoni were about to transport him out.
Clank! Clank! Clank!
And with that, they were gone. Ratchet stood by, despondent. Clank. No. Kim stood by, also saddened.
Ratchet.
Ron stood by for a bit. He then placed his hand on her shoulder. She looked at him. KP, go to him. He needs you to be with him a lot more than I do. She stared at him for a bit. She then walked towards Ratchet as Ron stood by and watched her. She went up to Ratchet and comforted him. All of their other friends walked up to him and stood by. Ron, still standing where he was, began to realize something. He looked around and even all over himself. He stood right back up with a confused look on his face.
Has anyone seen Rufus?
The end?
Wow, that was a great ending. I so cannot wait to get started on the next story.
Yes, we all know how much you want to get started on that story. And quite frankly, I know very well of one particular part that you are really looking forward to reaching.
Yes, and it's my favorite part of this whole story. I so cannot wait to get started. I so cannot wait.
All right, calm down. It will come to that. Please, just remain composed.
All right. Maybe we'll get started on that, really soon. Maybe I can actually start making videos on it. Oh my gosh, I just, all right, enough. Next time, we will get started on the next part of the story, in which Ratchet will try to look for his best friend, and so much more. So, until next time, we will be seeing you again. Okay, everyone. See ya. Bye. Wait. Okay, now bye. But what could be? What will become of Clank? What do the Zoni plan to do with him? So many questions. And who is Clank? There's really no telling what's going on, or what connection Clank has with the Zoni. Well, if anyone watched the next game or played it, they'll know what's to come. But there's something else to this story that I'm really looking forward to sharing. And yeah, this game really did end with a cliffhanger. There were 2 other games that came afterwards, but I skipped one of them. Oh, I still cannot wait. So, in a way, this story is still not finished.